Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here, and yes, this Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it will be Kevin Owens versus the defending Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose in a last man standing match. So with that being the case, I put together this pay-per-view simulation that you can see right here, right now. But I thought instead of just having the in-game commentary, I'd actually talk about the build to this match and whether I think it's been a good build or a bad build, and how I think the match will unfold at the Royal Rumble itself. And of course, I will give you my result of the match, who I think's going to win and walk out the Intercontinental Champion. Now, obviously guys, just bear with me because I'm kind of still recovering from Monday Night Raw, where we had to see Vince McMahon playing with his balls. Yes. That was indeed a sight for sore eyes, but I think I'm just about there. I'm just about recovered. So yeah, let's talk about the build to this match and whether we think it went well or not. And you know, with Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose, I think it's quite a good feud for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that, you know, over the period of time, we've wanted some sort of legitimacy when it comes to the Intercontinental title itself. And we thought, you know, around about a year ago when Daniel Bryan picked up the Intercontinental title, we were going to get that back because the IC title really had lost its sparkle. But unfortunately, Daniel Bryan got injured and the belt kind of again slipped down the pecking order. It didn't have that focus like the US title. And I think that Dean Ambrose could be the guy to bring that back, bring that legitimacy back. Now, I'm not Dean Ambrose's biggest fan at the moment, I have to say, because, you know, he's classed as the lunatic fringe, but what really is that lunatic all about? You know, he's not exactly a ticking time bomb. He's not exactly a Brian Pillman-esque kind of, you know, loose cannon. He's more of just, you know, facial expressions looking like a lunatic. I don't always tend to think that he does things of a lunatic nature. It's just more, you know, in his mannerisms. So, I mean, I'm still kind of not sold on it, and I genuinely think that Dean Ambrose would be a much better heel than he is babyface. I always thought when he would leave the Shield, he would become a heel. Now, nevertheless, I think that he's a decent Intercontinental Champion, and the feud with Kevin Owens is a good one for him. I mean, these two work well together. We've seen, you know, the sort of brawling style, and the last man standing match definitely will suit these two. After seeing what they did on SmackDown on the USA Network when it debuted, they had that all-in-all, out-and-out brawl, and, you know, it led to them both being left flat on their backs. Now, saying that, did they give us a little bit too much when they debuted on the USA Network? Because this is a last man standing match. They're going to have to pull out all the stops, but they pulled out quite a lot of stops when they debuted on the USA Network. So sometimes I think to myself, less is more, and I say this quite a lot. You know, when you've got a big pay-per-view match coming up, why throw it all on the line? I know you wanted to impress on the USA Network, but I think that it would have been better to maybe hold off a little bit so you could pull out some of those shocks at the Royal Rumble. And I don't doubt for a second that these two are going to put on, you know, nothing more than a great match, but that just concerned me a little bit. And now, if I look and I focus on what happened on last week's SmackDown, and then moving into Monday Night Raw, where not an awful lot happened, but, you know, when I look at SmackDown, where Dean Ambrose did indeed challenge Kevin Owens to a last man standing match for the Intercontinental Championship, I just would have liked to have seen a little bit more, you know, legitimacy there. Like, a little bit more between the two, heat and anger, as opposed to what happened with the drum roll. I really didn't like that at all. I didn't like the fact that Dean Ambrose was kind of playing up with the drum roll. And that's what I say about the lunatic fringe. It's not really crazy. It's kind of quirky what he does. And I don't think that that did anything for the feud. What I would have rather seen was have Kevin Owens come out and go toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose, and square off, you know, face-to-face with Dean Ambrose, and them two just have a real heated exchange between each other. No fisticuffs, no punches, no nothing. You know, that just had to be a real heated exchange between the two. Even just a stare down. You know, acknowledging that they kind of got a bit of respect for each other, but they just don't like each other. That would have been perfect considering that we'd seen so much from the debut on the USA Network on SmackDown when they had that out-and-out brawl. So that, to me, would have worked much, much better. As you can see, Kevin Owens down at the moment. Is he going to get up? Yes, he is. He's back up on his feet after being battered with the kendo stick. So, for me, sometimes it feels like to me that they've got it wrong. And I'm still, as I say, trying to work out how much of a lunatic Dean Ambrose really is. He tends to pull it out in the matches, but persona-wise, you know, I'd like him to tap in a lot more into that Brian Pillman persona that we saw, because that was downright crazy, insane, loose cannon. But we'll wait and see how that plays out. Now, with regards to the match, they're going to have to lift the bar even higher, so they're going to have to take some risks. So I'm not sure, you know, how they're going to end this last man standing match. So let me know via the comment section below how you think this match will play out, because I'm a little bit tied between the two who I think is going to win this. On one hand, I think that Dean Ambrose is going to win, because why would he drop the belt so soon? And it might be nice to have Dean Ambrose have a long Intercontinental title reign with some good feuds. I'm kind of wondering, considering this is a last man standing match, whoa, Kevin Owens busted open. Considering this is a last man standing match, are we saying that this is closing the chapter, closing the book on this feud? Or are we going to continue after the Royal Rumble? But, you know, it would surprise me that they'd let Dean Ambrose drop the belt so quickly. But then again, you don't really want to damage Kevin Owens. I mean, for me, Kevin Owens, he's not as big a prize fighter as a Brock Lesnar, but to me, Kevin Owens is still a prize fighter. And, you know, I think these two guys are top talent. They could both be in the world title picture, but instead they're being used as a platform to elevate the Intercontinental Championship. And if that's the case, then, you know, I don't want to see Kevin Owens get damaged from this feud. And him losing, and considering he hasn't had that great a run of recent, you know, he lost the Intercontinental belt for starters. I'm just not sure about, you know, how I'd feel if he lost again. And Kevin Owens there just nailing his signature maneuver. And, well, we could see Dean Ambrose count it down. Referee counting it. He's up to 4. 5. Is Dean Ambrose going to get up? Or are we going to see a new Intercontinental Champion here at the Royal Rumble? Oh, just up as the referee was approaching 8. So, I'm kind of tied between the two. If I had to make a prediction, I'm probably going to say that Dean Ambrose is going to retain. But I'd be very interested to see how they ensure that Kevin Owens keeps his credibility. Because I know you could say, well, it doesn't matter. But I think it does matter with Kevin Owens. I think that since he, you know, had his epic feud with John Cena, he hasn't really gone on to, you know, he hasn't taken those steps forward. It's always felt like, to me, he's taken steps backwards. So it's a bit like both guys. Both guys are in the sort of middle area, and I expect them to be at the top. So for this match, it could be an awesome match and steal the show. But WWE have got to make sure that this all figures out afterwards, so one of these guys just doesn't drop down the pecking order whilst the other one continues to be Intercontinental Champ. So it's a difficult scenario that the WWE are in with this one. So, as I said, very interesting to see how it plays out as these two are exchanging lefts and rights, you know, on the outside of the ring. It's an out-and-out brawl. Kevin Owens is busted open and he's nailed the package pile driver. That'll do it. Dean Ambrose was looking to get the announce table involved. He went for the classic, the Spanish announce table. But, you know, he took too long. Owens nails the package pile driver. And this one has got to be over as we're up to a count of 7, 8. Oh, here we go. 9. This is... Oh, wait a minute. What is Kevin Owens doing? He surely had the match won, but Owens wants to maybe add insult to injury. Oh, a massive knee to Dean Ambrose. Worrying times. What's he going for? Oh, Ambrose with the reversal. Kevin Owens had an opportunity to win this match, but he wanted to end it with an exclamation mark, but it's going to be Dean Ambrose maybe, who does so. Look out! Dirty deeds! Referee starting the count. And the crowd chanting, "This is awesome." And possibly they will be chanting that at the end of this match at the Royal Rumble itself. Count of 5. 6. Can Owens get up? Is he going to do it? 9. This one is over. And Dean Ambrose retains the Intercontinental Championship. So there you have it, guys. This was my pay-per-view simulation. And like I said, I think that if they do have Kevin Owens lose this match, they've got to pull out all the stops to make sure that you think to yourself, well, that hasn't damaged Kevin Owens too much. And I hope that you kind of, as you watch this match, as I do this commentary, you'll see how this match unfolded. We had kendo sticks. We had the steel steps, we had chairs, and then we had the announce table. So, you know, Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose threw it all at each other, apart from the kitchen sink. And it was Dean Ambrose who was victorious. That's how I want to see it happen at the Royal Rumble. Let me know by the comment section below who you think will be victorious this Sunday.